Yo my boys, welcome to another banger, for real. Boys, I'm actually just doing a tier list. It's not a banger, but it's still a pretty banger video, alright? I'm just gonna do a tier list for this current patch, and hopefully, people don't get too angry at me, as they usually do when I make a tier list and everything is wrong. I'm gonna start with Makoa, as I'm kind of doing it, not like as challenge. It's not even a challenge playing this guy to Grandmaster, it's super easy. He is A tier, close to S in my opinion, but A tier, because there's a few tanks that are a little bit better. I'm gonna drag him. This guy, for example, is a little bit better. Just the ultimate is too much of a hustle, and you also have his insane damage. He's closer to S tier than A tier. Khan, very strong. Ruckus, also very strong this patch, and he's been strong for a while too. I'll put him to S tier. Tanks are generally very strong, as you may see, boys. Asen, S tier, like, in my opinion, insane tanks, right? There shouldn't be anyone in S plus, right? This guy is close to, very close. Asen, S tier. 4 tanks in S tier, 1 in A. I was gonna pull in the point tanks. How about that? I think Nyx currently is the strongest point tank with Fernando. I think both of them are insane. With the correct composition, Nando is just the best. But in general, in ranked, I feel like you can't go wrong with Nyx. She's hard to kill, insane survivability, just does a hell lot of damage. Her ultimate is like her weak side, right? But it charges so quickly, and when you get people in your ulti, people die. It hurts really badly, so A tier, completely deserved as well. I'm gonna put Inara into B tier. Inara is not a bad champion. I love to play her. I can play her on any map pretty much, go cripple or whatever. But I don't think she's as good as Nando and Nyx. And she gets caught, like, back in the day, you'd have Genos against her, when Genos was more of a, like, a viable play. Genos is better now than what they've been in a while, but, like, you'd lift her after Modus Grace and she's dead. Or she'd play cripple and she get lifted and die. Like, it's just on repeat, honestly, on repeat. So you can be very careful with this champion sometimes, but I like her. I think she's very strong. Terminus. So this might be a little bit like, I always struggle with putting Terminus because I'm a big Terminus fan and I love to play him. I don't think this is a good patch for him. I'll put him in B tier because people think he's very good. I don't think he's very good. I think it's probably C tier, but it depends on who you're playing against. The champion is really good against weaker players because, like, they shoot your shield, you get your stacks up, and you're fine. Good players don't do that as much, and then, like, what are you supposed to do? Like, you don't get your stacks, you don't get your movement speed, you don't get your DR very easily, and then you get hooked, and then you get beamed, and then you're dead. Like, that's how it used to be anyway. Doesn't really play like that anymore though. And if I go into ranked, I don't really face the top players anyway. Rom. The Rom has been very strong the last couple of patches with the healing, and goes into A tier. He could be like S tier too, and he could be B tier. Depends on the draft and stuff, but like healing Rob is very strong right now. And if you have lots of tanks like triple tank, quadra tank, this guy is crazy. Absolutely crazy champion. But A tier, I think that's solid. Torvald. Yeah. I hate to do it, but C tier. I forgot about Barrick, bro. C. Both of them C. Barrick has point tank as well, like just the weakest one right now. I love him, but it's just the weakest. Torvald, C tier. Could be B tier, but like I feel like C tier is fine. No one really wants to play him. And when people pick him, they're like trolling, you know? Even though they're trying their best and all, but just a very annoying champion. Jagorat. I put Jagorat on the same tier as Terminus and Nara, B tier. It's a good champion, and they've done a lot of changes to her. I didn't get to see her on a good player yet, so I'm not sure if it should go higher or a little bit lower, but I think B is fine for now. Ashe. She is quite a champion. I love to play her, and I think Hi-Rez thinks she's weak, so they keep giving her weird stuff. Like the buffs to her recently have been like weird, but A tier, not as good as these 4, but like very solid. Just kind of like Makoa actually, like very solid, and you have good games with her all the time. She doesn't have the same pick potential as Makoa though, but her ult is way better and mobility is way better, at least a little bit better, and yeah, just generally does more damage too. That's just a very good champion in my opinion. These are the tanks. Like, I don't want to split them up anymore. They're all very good. Like, having 2 champions in C tier as a whole class, that's insane. Tanks are very strong this patch. What I'm trying to say. Healers. I'm gonna do something very, very like controversial here, I think. Best healer in the game, SS plus. Just S plus, not SS plus. I think if you pick this champion, you don't do anything wrong. There's no map he's bad on. There's no map he's like oh, I need to pick him because it's this map. No, 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 no. He's insane on every map. Like no limitations, just very, very strong all around. Yeah, just insane. And you can first pick him and be like, yeah, I picked Damba, like the best healer. It's fine. There is some healers though, like this guy, Moji. She can keep up with Damba on certain maps, but like the map limitations makes her S, and yeah, I mean Damba is just too much anyway. So yeah, there we go. You have Ying, like very, very solid. They've fixed the rejuve on the illusions dispatch, so now she heals even more. The biggest problem with this girl, lack of damage and utility. She just has healing, and her ultimate is good and all, but like unless you have something to cleanse from CC or like Conald, for example, the ult disease cleanse isn't that great, you know, but it's some value there, a little bit of value there. Furia is like a damage type of support, right? I'm putting her to like 8 here because of Solar Blessing, but it's very annoying to play with, and I don't know. Like, she's fine, but it's very annoying to play with unless the healer is very, very good. But you can do crazy amounts of damage, and you can go damage Furia and do even more damage. So there is lots of utility there for her. So 8 here is completely fine here. Completely fine. You can also damage with Ying, so it's like similar to that extent where you triple healer and you get big value. I'm also gonna put Grok in here and Lilith. Like solid healers, does very high damage, and they can both be like solid A tier picks. I don't want to put them up to S, but they're not that far off, honestly. Pip, very similar as well. You can go Mega Potion, you can do a lot of damage, or Combat Medic can get more healing. So you have options with this guy. You can also play Catalyst if you're a damage Pip player, but then I would probably put him to B tier because that's not that great. But as a healer, A tier. Quite around, very solid. You can pick any of these and you have a decent healer. Not as good as Damba or Mojo on some maps, but like you have a very decent healer. PR Beam is kind of annoying though. Totem Grok is crazy, very strong. Grover. So I've seen people play Grover in tournaments, and it does very well. But they're playing Root Grover, and they're playing like a roam support with a Grover, and then the Grover just focuses on staying alive, and they're playing lots of tanks and stuff. So I put him with B tier, but I never see him in ranked. I don't think he's very viable in ranked, but I just know he's a good champion, so I can't really put him down further. So B is as low as I'll get with him, honestly. Corvus, pocket support. He's seen better days, but he could be it's closer to A than C for sure. But I put him to be like the A tier is kind of full, right? I don't feel like I should put in more people here, so can't decide on that. Ray, on Bazaar she's here, but in general play she's here. She doesn't heal enough. She's very cringe to play against. She does really well with double support. You can't solo support, at least not in my opinion, unless it's Bazaar, then I actually do anything. He's kind of bugged there, so she heals through walls, and it's just bullshit, honestly. It was a broken champion on that map, but apart from that, not that great. But, you know, it's just fine. Io is like a weird champion where I think he can be better. And she needs to be better to, like, compete with others. She's like, she doesn't do damage, like Ying, but she heals less. She gives DR if you play that talent. Many people don't though, and you just play survival talents like Sacrifice or the dog talent where you heal as much as the dog heals you and stuff. Like, heals others, so you just get more healing. Like, that makes sense in certain situations, but as a healer, you need to focus on healing others, not yourself. That's the goal, but dying is obviously not good either, so these are like valid options for her, but I don't know. Without the DR talent, I don't think she's like the right healer in that circumstance that you're picking her. Genos has been buffed. He can be B, but I'll put him to C. I might be wrong though. I think he might be just as good as Corvus or even better. No, not as, maybe not better, but this is fine. There is. Oof. She's not very good this patch. D or F. Like, I put her to D because her damage is very good when you play damage series. You can do very good with damage series still. Very easy soul collector game and you just farm. Very, very good, but in general, you don't want a Ceres on your team. At least I don't think so. That's all the healers. Also, like, pretty high tiers on them. Dumbo being S tier. I think this is all fair, right? All fair and all good. Alright, I'll just start with Vato. Like, S tier. S plus, I mean. Like, he's crazy. He's been crazy for such a long time. And I absolutely despise how they never seem to nerf him enough. He's just, like, his burst is just way too much. And it's been like this for a long, long time. They need to fix that. Oh, it is what it is, I guess, but they definitely need to do something about him. Underdog goes to S tier. He's very, very strong. Very, like you can play him on controller, you can play him on PC. Like, if you do good headshots, he's probably even more bursted than Vato, but it's just a very strong champion, and you can self-sustain, you can play without self-sustain, crazy mobility. Just an insane champion right now. Evie goes to S tier. I can't put her down to A tier. I just can't. I kind of want to, but I don't. Like, she just has so many good matchups right now, and if you play her well, you can get away with a lot of things. I'm not talking really speed. I'm talking uber speed, the boys. Uber speed is crazy though, but yeah, I mean, very, very strong champion. Meave, A tier. Meave is not bad. Like, Meave is not bad at all, but with Street Justice being gone, because that's what it is, gone, like, it's not the same OP champion where you have those options, but Cap Burglar is very fun and is very good, so A tier. Bora, same tier. They've nerfed Bora by removing some bugs to her, but like, she's still very strong and very easy to play, so I think many people should, many more people should even play her. She's very, very good. Buck. I've seen him play in tournaments and he does really well, but in general, he struggles quite a lot. I put him to B tier, and that's not like, oh, he's very, very bad. B tier is a good tier. Like, look at this champion so far. Like, I'm just kind of putting him below here. I don't think he is as good as Meave and Bora in most circumstances. And obviously a lot worse than Eevee and Andro. Very close to A though. Very close to A. Xin. Xin is one of those champions where if you play against weaker players, he's insane. Against the top players, you don't really see him that much. I put him to B tier, but it's like, he's good. I think Xin and Buck are good champions in the right circumstance. Very, very good. 7. He's like, I would like to put him like higher, but he goes to C tier. He just struggles right now in this patch. On certain maps, he's very, very, very good. And if you're a really, really good 7 player, you can do very, very many good things. But it's too rare, man. It's way too rare. I'm gonna bring in Sky. Sky goes to B tier. She's been nerfed quite a lot. I would have her on S or S plus earlier, like before they nerfed her healing. But now B tier is fine. She's not the same champion as she used to be. She's very like demanding though, so when they have a Sky and we have to look at her all the time, like if I play at Mako or something, she kills me so quickly. So it's not bad, but it's a big risk when you have her on your team and she's not doing much. Or yeah, I'm not a big fan of having her on my team, honestly. I hate to play against her though, which is kind of weird. I kind of like always put these two together: Talus, Koga, and Lex. Like controller champions that are insane at the highest level, and in general they're like fine. I'm putting Koga to A tier because there's a few too many good counters against him right now, and he doesn't. You rarely see him in ranked right now. Talus I rank is a little bit worse, and Lex is also a little bit worse than Koga. So I put them like this, but I've seen insane both Talus and Lex players, but they're mostly just controller players that runs at you and kills you. So B tier is fine. I don't think they're not a bad tier though. Like look at this. This is not bad at all. When I get the Ray in my team, I'm not angry. So even in R, like in R, I think in R is insane. So it's very strong champion still. Caspian though, he fucking sucks. No, I've seen Mutu play him pretty well a few times, but I don't think he's a good champion right now. D tier, and hopefully they do something about it because it's kind of lame that he's so weak. Kazumi. I hate her. This might be the hate. C tier. but she does really well in some of my ranked matchups. And I hate to say it, but I think she probably could be in B tier. But I fucking hate her. C tier. She's not a good champion, not fun to play against at all. And yeah, not a fan. Alright, the best damage champion in the game, boys. Who is it? In my most humble most humbles of opinions. Kenessa. S+. So they nerfed her. They did nerf her, like, but like she's just OP, man. If you have a good Kenessa player and they get it, even if you have counters, like you have an Ashe, you have a Meve or Eevee or Andrew or Vatu, it's gonna fucking destroy your entire team and you're not gonna do anything about it. Certain maps makes it hard to play, so that's why she could be S tier, but I don't think so. I think she's busted, still busted, and I don't necessarily need them to nerf her more, but at least bring up this guy a little bit so you have 2 snipers. I'll put him to B tier. Strix is not bad, but it's not nearly as good as Kenessa. Probably they should nerf her a little bit. Just take down the damage even more. Make her shoot like as like 1 second charge up, but yeah. She's too good, man. She is. Honestly. If Lagi was around at this time, people wouldn't want to play ranked against one of his millions of smurfs. Like you'd get destroyed every game. Not enjoyable. Leon, insane. Same level as Cassie here. I think Leon kind of gets overlooked because of how good Cassie is. But they nerfed Cassie a little bit, and I think Leon is just S tier. Argument would be like this. You put Leon down to A tier, but no, I think S tier is fine. They're very, very strong. There's also this guy, Omen. Oh, Omen isn't that good. Yes, he is. He's busted as well. Like, it's not fun to play against at all. And on maps where there's ledges, you have to be so careful, because this guy can just lift you and throw you off the map. And if you're a tank without mobility, like, you just, I don't know, it's not enjoyable at all. Not a fun champion to play against, and I don't really particularly enjoy to play him either, because I always have to play with like so little bullets and all that, but it's just an insane champion, and S tier, and deserved to. Let me see. Octavia. So Octavia is a very strong controller champion. On PC, not so much. A tier here, could be S tier almost, but A tier. You don't see her very much right now, but insane damage if she is somewhat free, and yeah, it's just not fun to play against. Bomb King. He's very, very close to S tier, but I'm putting him in A. He's very, very close. Like Stone Keep, he's S tier, but I don't see him enough to be like he's S tier, you know? And people don't really pick him that much. He's also very good on Jaguar Falls, but good Bomb players is like hard to find now, so yeah. Very, very good though. And like, if there's 4 champions above him on the tier list that are tanks, I mean not tanks, but are actual damage picks, not a bad champion at all. But then let's pull in everyone who's next to him. Like, let's pull in Dredge, who's also very insane. Certain maps he's more insane than others, but very rough to play against. Does a hell lot of damage and can win games on his own. Very, very strong. Tyra. This is Versakill Tyra, by the way. No Mark or Burn Monster or anything like that. Maybe Burn Monster against Quadra Tank or Triple Tank, but in general, just very, very hard to kill and just really high damage. On PC as well as controller. Victor. I can't put Victor lower than Tyra this patch. He hurts like crazy on controller. Do you guys see the Drogos game? It's not fun, man. It's not fun at all. I think Vivian's a little bit worse though. I always put these 3 together, so Vivian a little bit worse than them. Just preference, I suppose, but yeah, it's kind of messy. I'm putting Charlene to B tier. You never see him, and he never does good in my games. But Charlene is a decent champion, and if you're a really good Charlene player, you can easily be A or S tier, I think. But on this tier list, B tier. Imani, she goes to C or D? I think C. You rarely see her, and when it's her, it's one of the one tricks, and then rarely do very good. So here you go, C tier. Not a bad champion, not a good champion. Drogos, oh, A tier. Very, very strong, generally speaking. Insane on some maps, just decent on some of them in the map pool right now, but like a very, very strong champion. I can't say anything bad about him at all. Like in this current format, is has lots of kill potential with the ulti and just does high damage. And if you're a good Drogos player, you know what I mean. He's very, very strong. Willow. If she's free, she's good. If she's not free, you know, she's still pretty good. But if they get a Kinessa or a Vatu or a good Leon, the Willow falls off a lot, honestly, and you struggle playing her. But she's still very good. A tier. Look at this. Very, very good tier. Sati also goes into A tier. Very, very strong. High damage. In particular, very high burst. Ulti isn't like insane. Especially after playing the coin patch where everyone had ulti every single second. So they would just ulti all the time. Like, ulti just doesn't hit anymore because people are getting so used to dodging them now. So it's like, it's not bad. It's not a bad ulti, but like, it's, in general speaking, it feels like just shooting more bullets. So, but still very, very strong. Not higher than A though. Closer to B than S. So there you go. Tiger Man, Tiberius. I have not seen him enough. Patch. I thought he would be better from what I've seen by playing him myself a little bit, like only on ice spines and stuff, but he's just, they buffed him and he's very strong and his movement feels a lot smoother, but still people don't enjoy him enough, I guess. I think it's probably going to be A tier if people start playing him, but for now B tier, and hopefully people start playing him a bit more and we get to see him a little bit more in ranked, and then, oh, he's actually A tier or S tier even, but for now this is fine. Betty. You rarely see her, you rarely see people play good with her. In lower elos, she's insane because people stand in her bombs and it's like a tire of fire. That's what I compare her bombs to. Like the AoE bombs that she puts on the ground. Tire of fire. Don't stand in them, they hurt like crazy, man. They don't look that scary, but they hurt like crazy. So, yeah, don't stand in those bombs. So yeah, that's my tier list for this patch. It's early on though, so something might be a little bit off. Hopefully it's not too bad. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye.